Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for waiting for us. I'm so sorry we're late. It's totally my fault and Mercury's. And just a lot of Mercury retrograde stuff
It's
going
a lot, folks. It's happened to me. So
It is.
don't.
It's all over the place. And this Mercury retrograde is right on top of, the retrograde is in Pisces, right? It's right on top of my Mars in Pisces in my third house for communications, spiritual stuff,
Oh my God.
imagination. So things are just like bing, 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 bing.
Yeah,
bing.
exactly. I'm finding that is happening to me, and I can't. I'm gonna have to look at my chart and see where all that falls. But
Well, you're a Capricorn rising, so it's going to be in
yeah.
your third house too of
Oh,
communications.
is that
So,
right? See, you
yeah,
know better
yeah,
than I do. Yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So there. That's why I showed up half an hour late to messages for light workers today.
Cuckoo
Accidentally.
bananas, cuckoo bananas, this stuff. And it's going on until the equinox, until the
Yeah.
21st. So,
Oh,
oh my gosh, like
oh
we're
my
toast.
gosh.
We're toast. We don't stand a chance. We
It's
don't stand a
really,
chance.
yes, yes, yes.
Just
It's going to
no.
be something. And I'm just wondering what's going to happen during my Arthur and Val live in Las Vegas at the Golden Nugget on Sunday.
Oh my, that's this Sunday?
Yes,
Ooh, I'm excited. Well, that came up fast.
it came up fast, and I hope everybody makes it there, and we're all sold out. So
Oh, it'll be
it's going to
great.
be fun.
It'll be
It's
great.
going to be
The
fun.
one good thing about the Mercury retrograding grade being in Pisces is that all that energy, all that
Yeah,
Piscean, watery healing, all out
yeah.
there in the universe energy is just floating all over. So,
Oh, it is. And I'm so ungrounded. I keep grounding myself, but I'm like floating in the clouds. That's probably why I didn't get the right time for my own
well, and
messages.
I sat down and I looked just to make sure that I had sent you a link because, of course, I
Yeah,
don't think about that until 5 minutes
I have the
before the
link.
show.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't find the email. So I sent you the wrong link somehow, which I don't know how I did that. I click on the thing and I was like in the studio for the thing. Oh, you know what? I must have initially just clicked into the wrong studio. That's what I
Yeah,
did.
that's what it
Okay.
was. I
And
bet.
Mercury just is laughing and saying, "Look at her. She can't do anything." Mercury has a sense of humor.
It does.
Mercury is the trickster.
It
Mercury's
is.
like alter ego is Loki. So
Yeah, for sure. For
very
sure.
much
And I felt it today.
oh, I feel
Kicked me in the butt.
yeah, 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 for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So what are we here for?
Well,
3i
this
Atlas.
Jupiter, yeah, the Jupiter, 3i Atlas. It's
Yeah.
passing by Jupiter on the 16th of March.
Yes. Yes,
So
and I'm very excited. Now,
it is
some
exciting.
guy like Ray, Ray's astronomy, right?
Yes, yes, I love
Or
him. I
is
love
it
him.
Ray's
He's
photography or Ray's
great.
astronomy? I was listening to
It's
him.
uh, it's astronomy,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
Yeah, it's astronomy. I think it's Ray's astronomy.
yeah,
I
raises.
listened to him and he is still so detailed and into it and telling everybody about all this stuff. I can't, I mean, I just, my hat goes off to him. I mean, he has
Yeah,
still maintained his enthusiasm and he hasn't slacked up on what he's doing. I'm like, this guy's, I don't know how he's doing it.
he's very detail oriented, but he doesn't do it in a boring way. And I find it very interesting how he shows you, he drills into the image of 3iAtlas. He'll drill in and drill in, then I'll show you versus NASA or whatever images they have somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And he just talks very plainly about it. So I really feel like we're getting, for an amateur person at home doing this, he's really good.
He's really, really good. I think he's gained a huge following, but also
Yes.
I think in the astronomy world, I think he's also gained a lot of respect from professional astronomers who are looking at him and going, wow. Because I know that Avi Loeb and the guy that you like,
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
can't think of his name.
I can't either right now.
but he's adorable. And they do wonderful AIs of both him and Dr. Loeb. I
Oh,
love
oh,
that.
I know who you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
The AI shows are really they're too long. If they made them shorter, I would actually just watch them because they do give you all the
they
information.
do, and Michio Kaku is the physicist
Yeah, yeah,
that I like to watch. But they do so much AI. You know, it's not them talking,
it's
but
not them.
boy, this sounds really good.
And the information, I gotta wonder, is the information the NASA slanted information or is it the real information?
That's the
Because
question.
that's what I appreciate about Ray too, is he doesn't sensationalize things at all.
He doesn't.
He doesn't have a slant. He doesn't have an agenda. He's just like into his photography. And he
Yes, he
and he
is.
tips his hat to those others that are doing great jobs too.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I
he
saw
does.
another AI one that was shorter. That this guy, the AI image that they were using, I think it was just a stock image. I don't think it was really
Yeah,
anybody of note, right?
yeah.
And the image behind him, like the little looped video behind him, was showing. The longer you see 3iAtlas, the more it looks like a potato. It just does. Looks
Yeah,
like a potato.
yeah.
But he was showing the potato with all these little bursts of like green flame coming off of it. And it
Mhm.
was obviously an AI generated video and it was a loop, so you could see it many, many times.
Yeah,
But if that is what's coming off of it, because Ray was talking about that too, all these
yeah.
little
It's
bursts
been
coming
doing
off.
that, right?
Yeah. So it was pretty good, this AI. It was
And
probably a little dramatic, but
they were in the color bursts, different colors. I mean, even Ray's talked about that.
mhm.
Whether that's AI generated to give you the example or not, or
Yeah.
natural, you don't know.
But
But
that's
rays are real.
Yes,
Rays
rays are
are
real.
real.
Yeah, they're very real, and this guy had it was all very pretty green, he had, like, a color
Mhm.
theme, like Windows
Oh,
color theme or something, so it and it was all AI, but l to hearing him talk about the methane gas that's coming off of it,
yeah.
it's all this alcohol-based gas that
Mhm.
is really, releasing all of this into the atmosphere, and I find it so interesting that that's the stuff that we're convinced is causing global warming. It's the warm what do they call it? The greenhouse gases,
Yes.
and that's the stuff emitted, like, from cows, and the cattle industry is literally killing the planet.
Yeah.
It really is. And so I thought that was very interesting that then 3iAtlas is emitting this stuff. Now, is it emitting this stuff because now that it's not in our atmosphere, but now that it's in our galaxy, maybe that is helping it to keep going, like
Mhm.
it's giving it little bursts of energy to keep going. I don't
I
know,
think
but
it does. I think that though admitting that, emitting that gives it more momentum as it's going
yeah.
along, something like that.
Like a little
Like a
jet, like
jet,
it
little
pushes it
jet
like
stream. Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Like propelling it. I mean, as it's
Yes,
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
I still have to marvel at the trajectory that it has taken, that
Mhm.
it's definitely not orbiting anything yet, and it is on its own path. How the hell is it doing and going so fast? So much well,
I
that's how it's doing it, 'cause it's going so fast, it's not being caught in any orbits. But this thing it is a sentient potato. It's
It
got
really it really is. But I mean, I was looking at it from the metaphysical perspective of how is it gonna affect us as it goes by Jupiter?
yeah,
And, since, Jupiter is, can be a widening of spiritual perspective, a larger map of reality, giving
mhm,
us a nudge to go beyond our old containers and, inherited narratives that we have all lived by.
mhm,
It may really give us, um, those bigger insights and amplifying our longing for truth, maybe even,
yeah.
we'll see.
Well, in
Yeah,
astrology, Jupiter is the truth seeker.
there
It's
you
the
go.
judge, it's the
Find that.
shaman, it's the philosopher. it's the one who is consistently expanding its consciousness,
Yeah.
expanding boundaries, expanding other people's boundaries, and love. So very generous, giving lots to everybody. Just bigger, 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 bigger. But it's all about, not just higher learning, which I think is important because it is
Mhm.
about higher learning, but philosophy,
Mhm.
spirituality, high spirituality, not, well, I don't know. I think all spirituality is pretty high, so I don't know why I said that, but
You did, because it's the higher truth. There's, at every level that you're at every perspective you're at, you have this level of truth. And
mhm.
then you go to the next level of truth because it's a different perspective. You're broader, you see more.
Yeah.
So as you see, and it's not a hierarchy, it's just different perspectives give you different
Yes.
different I can't even talk. Different levels.
Realities, planes
Yeah,
of
because
reality.
listen, yeah, it is about trusting. It's really about, I think we're going to be asked to trust a bigger unfolding
Mhm.
and whatever is coming. And the truth wants to come into that old world view that we've always had. It wants to be known.
Mhm.
So I think that expansion is going to happen. It may not, of course, boom, we all are like that as it goes on March.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
going to
like
be,
an eclipse. It's not gonna happen all at once.
it doesn't happen all at once, and you're not going to just go, bam, okay, I see everything. It's just like little codes of information,
Yeah.
packets of light that we
Mhm.
are. Think of it this way, if you want to look at it in physics. As this happens, as 3iAtlas goes by Jupiter, it is creating some kind of synergy, creating some kind of information. And as it updates itself back and forth, Jupiter and 3iAtlas, we are getting that update because we're all connected to everything, physical bodies, planets, whatever. I don't care. There isn't anything we're not connected to. So
Mhm.
think of it as that. And I feel like Jupiter is asking for integration. It really wants us to make this shift. What's the deeper truth that's mirroring inside of me, or mirroring in me? It's asking us to dive deep. And I think that's been happening, maybe not right this New York minute, but in this approach to this and onward, I think we're really going to be seeing the planet and seeing ourselves we're starting to really see it in a different way. Some of us are feeling disconnected to things that are going on, disconnected even parts of our own life. And I think that is so that you can
Oh
connect
yeah, I am.
you can connect in a deeper way. And I think this is what
Yeah.
it's going to facilitate. Because as you feel so busy, you can't
Yeah,
even
I
give
think so too.
you can't give enough of your life the attention you used to give it. It's that you are being pulled away for a moment to look at it in a different way and connect in a different way. So I think a lot of that's going to be happening. And 3iAtlas gets us talking about it. It's here to get our attention and get us to
Yeah.
talk about this. Um,
It's the
so
wise potato.
it is the wise potato.
It's the wise potato.
It really
Everybody
is.
loves potatoes,
I have to say,
and
look at
it's about life.
it. Since we started talking about 3iAtlas, from the time that you started having these shows, Colleen, look at how our consciousness has shifted. I don't know about you, but my world is different. It's different in how
Yes.
I connect to things. It's different in how I'm thinking about myself. It's different in how I'm like, I can't even put it into words. It's not the same anymore. It's
Mhm.
changed, and I'm not
Mhm.
settled into anything. and I'm just kind of like floating around seeing how I don't even know how to say it. There's no
Yeah,
language for it.
I think as we were looking at 3iAtlas in the fall, and as it approached the winter solstice, and we knew that that's when it was going to be really, really close to us. That's an important date anyway on this earth. And I think people look forward to that. And people who are tuned in to the earth, the seasons, that kind of stuff, I think for them every year, probably their bodies lean into the winter solstice because, that's the midpoint of winter. That's when the darkness actually starts to lessen. Most people are like, oh, it gets so dark by, solstice. Yes, it gets darker and darker and darker, but on solstice, then it begins to lighten, lighten, lighten. And I think that I felt that so many people were changing, and they were attributing it probably to, oh, it's winter. Maybe I have seasonal affective disorder and I don't like the dark, or, whatever, it's cold. I don't like the cold, whatever, or, my brother's moving away or whatever. But I think that period from the fall to the end of December was a big shifting period for a lot of people. And
I think you're
since
right.
that point, I know for me, I really felt like the rubber band snapped.
I
I was
do.
like,
I
oh, I'm untethered.
and I feel like I love what you're saying, and I feel like it's kind of unsettling our old patterns within us. We feel we're unsettled, and so yeah, we don't connect to everything that we do every day, what we've always done in the same way. We're not tethered to it like we used to. So
Mhm.
the old way of connecting, the old way of doing things, whatever, and I mean, in every step of your day is just not the same anymore for
Yeah.
us. It's gone, it dissolved. And so there's only you trying to figure out how this is all going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I knew in 2025 that such a huge shift spiritually for so many people. And so many people, I think, began to feel fear for the first time in a very long time because they were breaking away from the guru, the teacher,
yes,
the person who tells me what to do, the priest, the shaman, the high druid, the imam, whatever, that
yeah,
people were beginning to feel that separation, and it scared some people
yes.
because they didn't understand what was going on. They didn't dig into it. They're just like, I don't know why I feel like this, but I got to pull back.
Yeah,
And as you pull back and then realize that the answers are within you,
there it is.
all the information, all the truth is within you. You are part of the divine. You are a star seed. You have stardust in you, and you are connected to the whole universe. Once you really truly embrace that, not just intellectually, but
Yeah,
emotionally, spiritually.
yeah,
That's the other thing too, is that so many people get into spirituality and I know I read a lot of books, but then I had to experience things, because
yeah,
if you just read it, you just intellectually grasp the concept, you don't really grasp the concept.
yes,
You have
exactly.
to, and so this separation was very necessary for people to almost feel physically like, this is different. What's going on? Oh, it's getting further away. What do I do? Well, what
Yeah.
did you do when you were a little kid and you were scared? You dropped to your knees and you said, oh, please, God, don't let the big bad man get me, right? You asked the higher power to help you. That answer was that you were alone. You had to help yourself, and you have to dig down into your soul and either be too afraid to do anything or you do something.
Yeah, exactly.
And as people moved through that, then in January, you could feel that people had come out of that a little bit. People were
Yeah,
starting to feel like there is light. That all that stuff they're saying about love and light, it's the light. It's the light. All I heard in January and February was light, the light, the light, the light. So
no.
many, everywhere I turned, somebody was like, turn on the lights. Somebody was like, why is it so dark in here? We need light. Or go to the grocery store and I would hear conversations, the light, you would just hear it everywhere.
You
And
would.
now I'm feeling that people are really kind of getting it. They're kind of embracing
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing. And that wise potato is leading us to this, I
It
think.
is. I mean, it's definitely doing that. And I loved what you said about the huge shift in 2025 and some people feeling that fear as they disconnected with the guru type archetype that was in front of
Mhm.
them. And
Mhm.
they're feeling the untethered, but they feel some kind of pull to go inside of them. It
Mhm.
was all, I mean, it's orchestrated by us so that we can have that big shift. So many
Mhm.
people disconnecting from that archetype of somebody outside of you telling you what is your path when
Mhm.
you're the one who says what your path is, not you, but the soul self, the monad, the higher self of you, um, steering the ship. And
Yeah.
so as we've gone further into this with the 3iAtlas, it really has shifted. And we were just doing those shows and about 3iAtlas and talking about it and saying the words, but we did go through an experience, and it's easy for us to point to other things, like you were saying, that might be why you feel this way or you feel that
Mhm.
way. But 3iAtlas did create a huge shift um, that is over and above what we'd normally experience.
Oh, yeah. It was
Because,
global. It was
yes,
global.
this
The
is global.
entire planet
Yes,
focused, and in their focus, that was like a beam of light. It was like a
yes,
tractor beam of light
it
when
was.
the whole world watching the progress of 3i Atlas.
Yes.
When has that ever happened?
When have we ever, as a planet, put our attention on something so strongly? I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
I
pretty,
can think of,
that's
the
pretty,
so-called moon landing.
yeah,
I can think of, big assassinations, when
yeah,
a big world leader was assassinated, or big
yeah,
funerals, and New Year's Eve every year as you watch it go around the globe. But those didn't last very long.
no,
3i Atlas, this is going on since last July.
yeah,
So this is more than the Pope. I mean, this is
yes,
pulling big guns, big attention. And again, our focus on them, if you think of your eyes and the energy when you're focusing on something, you do have energy like coming from your eyes. It's like, there's stuff going. So I imagine all of our eyes with just tractor beams of light going on to 3i Atlas and creating something, connecting somehow in that's our light connecting in a common purpose. And
yeah,
it gave me a lot of hope seeing that everybody focused on that. I really hoped that people would focus for a better future, focus for peace, focus for somebody passing away in the White House, somebody for, just lots of, you know I mean that with for the most benevolent outcome for all.
I mean, but it does, I think it's really a beautiful idea using this time to bring in the reality that you really would like to see. Because if you place your awareness on something, it is going to cause a resonance with that timeline that matches this outcome that you want to see, which is, let's just say, a planet with more light. Since we
Yeah.
were talking about light.
Right. Yes, it is all about the light
But I,
because
going
yeah.
back, I love what you said, Colleen, about really living the higher truth that you have heard about, you've read about, you read all the books, and actually doing what you need to do every day. And I have to share this one thing, which I normally don't do, but the Handbook to Higher Consciousness by Ken Keyes, it's, gosh, it must be 20 years old or
I
older.
read that. I read
This
that book
this book,
long ago.
I
Yeah.
think it was so long ago. I was probably 27 when I was
Yeah.
reading. I
Yeah.
followed that handbook. It gave you every single thing to do,
Mhm.
to stay in the present moment, to not get triggered,
Mhm.
exactly how the universe works, and step by step by step. And it was not easy. I
Oh.
cre That's when I created those fun little things where I would say, okay, at work, my boss isn't going to trigger me, and I'm just going to smile at him, and I'm just going to be in neutral. And I'd practice that. And it was a fun thing, but he shifted from that kind of thing 180 degrees.
Wow.
He shifted so much.
That's
I mean,
great.
it wasn't just that one thing, but we're talking about taking it to every day and every moment, practicing it. And it's not like you have to do that 24/7. By the time you get done with the book, you've got it under your belt and you know what's going on, and you aren't going to get triggered as much as you used to, or you're going to have a lot easier time handling the triggers usually. But the Handbook to Higher Consciousness was a key book in me. I've always known about metaphysics. I grew up with a mother who was into metaphysics. Did I live it? Did I function? That Handbook to Higher Consciousness has every step you need to, and you can still get it today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
I remember that. That was in my library for years and years and years. Yeah, that's a good book. It's a very good book.
It's really
I don't remember who turned me on to it. I can't remember, but it was a very long time ago. And I mean, I may have just picked it up in a bookstore and said, hey, I need this. And
it's a simple, it's not a big, huge book. It's simple. And it really gives you what you need to know to stay in the present moment, to not get triggered, to be. It really is a handbook to higher consciousness.
Yeah, it really gives you the steps, the practical steps to do.
It does. So
you know, I remember. You remember the I guess it was just called The Cosby Show with Mrs. Huxtable. You know, she was Dr. Huxtable and Mrs. She was so serene, and in real life, she was very serene. And I remember reading that. I think she practices Buddhism. I want to say.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I remember thinking, well, I know I'm not Buddhist. I've looked at Buddhism, and there's a lot about Buddhism that I really embrace, that I really think is really, really beautiful, but it's not quite me, but it certainly can be parallel with what I'm doing. And I loved that serenity that she had. And I thought
she did have that.
If I could find a place in my little dark, shriveled up heart to
But I have to say that Felicia Rashad and her sister Debbie, who is a dancer, they grew up in a family that had that. That's what they practiced. So you were not mistaken on all that serenity. It came from that.
Yeah, it really did.
If I remember correctly, it was that really was part of their upbringing. And she had that tremendously. Yeah.
You know who else practiced Buddhism, who is very serene, actually, is Tina Turner.
Tina Turner was, she was a devout Buddhist and really practiced. And as you can see, coming out of the marriage that she did with Ike and having an abusive relationship, she freed herself from the judgment and and also the victimhood trap that people fall into, and completely transcended all of that. So that just shows you how powerful that is. It was
very powerful.
Yeah.
And it is all about not giving away your power, not letting other people manipulate
you say
what they say.
Yeah, exactly. If you say I'm a survivor, or you're labeling yourself as something. You may have had that experience, but you're not the story. And so it's beautiful to say, thank you for that experience. You're telling yourself that. And for anyone who played, because it was a catalyst for something in your life, probably to help others or to do whatever it is that you're meant to do for people. And so it's important not to put yourself in a box and label yourself and move through all of that. It's something you move through. It's
Yeah, so important. I'm going to take a peek at the chat, which, wow, what a novel idea,
I
Colleen.
mean,
You should actually do that. Let me just take a peek here and see if people are asking questions and I'm just like, la la la, we're talking about wise potato and for consciousness. Let me see if I can figure this out. See, I'm curious about often how others sleep has been about. Okay, so I'll just start some of these and we'll just go through them and talk about them.
okay.
Okay, here we go. If you see anything special, just yell out the time and I'll.
Okay.
Somebody used my favorite word, so I'm going to star that one. This is a great comment. I'll star that.
Yeah. And Kelbell saying, good to join you guys. I felt untethered too. Yeah, it is really about you getting unstuck from all those patterns and old you know, ways of seeing yourself or any of that. It isn't even, it's just happening. It's wrenching us from all of that in a way. And we aren't connecting in the same way, which is good because that everything around us, the construct is changing too. So you're disconnected. The construct is changing. We'll just say it's the matrix landscape.
Yeah. So many little things are changing for me personally.
Yes.
Like I thought that I could not read books anymore because I would constantly go to sleep.
Yes.
I'm not, I can't read for long periods of time. I do feel like, okay, time for bed, but I don't just fall asleep in the middle of the book. But I'm reading. That's big because it means that I'm not watching TV or YouTube, which is big for me.
Yes.
I did like sign up for Substack, but I really don't pay any attention to it. And I guess once I signed up for Substack, then I started getting notifications from Threads too. I didn't even know I was connected to that, but
I did the same thing and I never get on.
I never get on them. Once in a while, a little sentence will catch my eye and I'll go, oh, that's interesting. But watching, the news, I watch it on YouTube, but I mean, I'm turning most of that stuff. I just turn off. I listen to about, the first little blip to see what they're going to talk about. And then I'm like, oh, I think I'll look at spring fashions.
Exactly. Well, you just hit the nail on the head about what's been happening with most people. You can't watch the same things you've been watching. You can't it's like being force fed things that you aren't, no, you just can't. It's not like you just can't. You can't input from somewhere else. You can't.
No.
You just can't.
And doing, trying to connect to my guides is much more interesting than watching anything else.
Absolutely.
And so it's much more natural.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, so I'm just going to lay here.
Much more zen.
Much more zen. Yeah, it's very zen. Now, Zen Buddhism, I think, is where I really zing and connect. But again, it's just not quite what I need to do. But, does any of us need to do that? I think you need to know what your path is in order to just allow it to be a little more casual.
Yeah, that's all it is. And you're laughing, but it's really true. All you have to do is relax into it. There isn't anything you need to join. There's nothing you need to know, like you have to follow something. No, it's not. It's really true. You just need to relax into yourself, into your deeper self. And that's pretty much it.
It is.
It really is.
It is. It's really important.
And then there are things you find interesting, like, I don't know, being a witch or doing whatever it is that, that's interesting. Then go do it. There's nothing to stop you.
Yeah. And no big sweat about it. You don't have to you don't have to do it right. You don't have to do it at a particular time. You don't have to. Just to relax with all of that stuff and just try to allow your life to go with the flow.
Exactly.
So notice I didn't say try to let yourself go with the flow. Let your life go with the
Yeah,
flow.
because your life is flowing. It's the universal flow,
Mhm,
and you're just
mhm,
going to let it wash over you,
mhm,
and that's how it is.
mhm.
Because then you're not efforting, you're just allowing it to flow through. You're not looking for life to be a certain way for yourself. You're just flowing with it. So you're in your consciousness creating your reality by the way of your moods,
Mhm.
your outlook of life,
Yeah.
sunny outlook or
Yeah.
glass half full, let's just say it
Well,
like that.
and I think too, when people start doing this kind of work, a lot of people talk about manifestation.
Yeah.
And with manifestation, you start having expectations. And
Yes.
expectations can stress you out because
Yes.
it's very easy for you to judge yourself and say, I
Yeah.
did not meet that expectation. And
Yeah.
the next phrase is, so I failed. And you don't want that. You don't want to be thinking that. You want to flow with things and imagine and visualize beautiful things for yourself in the future, but not have any big expectations on it so that
Yeah.
it happens when it happens. It happens in the right divine timing, and you are in the right divine timing. Everything that you're doing in life is divine
Yeah.
and in the right time. And as you do that, you more and more and more love yourself. You love your life. You love what's going on in your life, and you feel damn good. You feel really
Yeah, and that love of yourself and what's going on in your life
good.
propels more of that flowing in. And
Yeah.
I just read the book the other day that someone was asking this one person who seemed pretty serene in their life. Well, you just had blah 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 happen. How you just your grandson was just born or your great grandchild, and that's a wonderful thing. Well, we'll see. and then and then something else happened in their life. Oh, you just won an award for blah blah blah. That's fantastic. Well, we'll see. In other words, he's just staying neutral about anything in his life, whether or not it's fabulous, whether or not it's horrible, something like happened too, where it wasn't considered a positive thing. Well,
Mhm.
we'll see. Because in life, no matter what is happening, it's flowing for a reason and it's flowing
Yeah.
for a purpose. So, the point that they were trying to make in that story was that if you stay neutral and you don't attach to the polarity,
Yeah.
but you stay in the neutral state of that bliss no matter what, bliss no
Mhm.
matter what, whatever flows to you is without any kind of anticipation of what you think you want. Let the universe flow it to you because that's what your soul and your consciousness is choosing in that moment. If you deny it or reject it, you're denying and rejecting yourself because you are the one who created it.
Mhm.
So that's the whole thing about that. So that's why manifesting it's a tricky thing because you really have to stay
It can be a trap. It
you
can
have
be
to
a
let
real
it
trap.
go. Yeah, you have to let it go with no anticipation. Don't even think about it again, except that you can bring it into the now moment, whatever it was that creation. Say you think you want to live in a beautiful house on the beach.
Mhm.
Just imagine the house you're living in is a beautiful house on the beach and you're walking around that way. That's all you're doing. And that way, that's manifestation in the moment by attraction.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things, so
Yeah.
many. But 3iAtlas, 3 3
That's wise potato. Uh, one,
I
la- one one last thing I want to say about this manifestation thing
oh,
is
yeah.
that for some people, their motivation in manifesting is really them trying to control their world.
Yes.
That's why it doesn't work for you.
That it can't
You
work when
can't.
you think you
Mm-mm.
don't have control of it. You just put it out there, this or something even better, because the universe is gonna deliver whatever it is your soul path, whatever your soul needs.
Yeah.
And,
And
yeah.
that control is nonsense. The better way to because a lot of people are like, well, how do I stop that? How do I stop it? they want to control that. How they, but the thing is, learn the word surrender and
Yes.
forgiveness.
So
Surrender and forgiveness are really big, really,
big.
really big. When you can just imagine yourself just falling backwards into a cloud and just know that the universe is going to catch you in that cloud and carry you wherever you need to go. You can't control any of this. It's a little fluffy cloud. How could you not love that? You know, and
Exactly.
you know, because the manifestation thing is great, but there's a few pieces to it that if you master them,
Yeah.
yes, you can manifest anything. But are you trying too hard to control your life? Because that's not living in the
Yeah.
flow.
You have to say this or something even better, and then
Yes,
you have to thank the universe and let
yes,
go of it,
yes.
because you are not in control of what the end delivery system is. It's like you put an order in the kitchen, the dinner's being prepared by the chef. The chef might put in a little garlic. They might put in some pepper. You got to let the cosmic chef, do its thing, and then it'll be delivered. And that's the dish that you're going to get. You didn't make it. The chef and the cosmic chef made it, and you're going to receive it the way the cosmic chef is giving it to you. And you're going to be thankful because that is the universe delivering. And it
And it's
doesn't
for your highest good.
it's for your highest good, and it may not look anything like you think it would, but that's how it works. So it doesn't mean that you can't dream and you can't imagine, because dreams and imagination are the creative force of the universe that brings forward whatever it is. If you're dreaming of making a class and creating it, that's an example. You don't go up to the manifesting cosmic ordering system and say, I'm going to make a class. I want to. No, you just do it with your creative force, and you design it and you put it online, and that's it. It's those steps in making it into reality. But I think it's really important with the 3iAtlas. I think a lot of us are in the Jupiter aspect of it, since it's going by Jupiter. I think part of it is bridging human life with galactic awareness. And I think we're hearing a lot about that galactic connection now. And it's in the ethers that we really are this close to having that kind of a disclosure. Will it be governmental? No. It's disclosure like we're going to see them in the sky. People are going to take more pictures. It's going to be pretty obvious. And I think that is really going to be happening. And it's funny. Pamela Anderson says, I've been reading to Dr. Gale's book, got me going, and now I'm reading Dolores Cannon's New Earth and the Z3 Waves of Volunteers. I never read it before, and wow, it's opening a deeper awareness. And that is really a beautiful thing when you are attracted and you start to broaden your horizon, broaden your perspective through those kind of books where you haven't had that information in your awareness before, but suddenly you do, and all of a sudden it expands your view of everything. Well, that's kind of what the galactic beings coming in is going to blow the lid off our perspective. I mean, worldwide, in some way, and still some will probably say, "Oh, I don't believe that."
Oh, sure. Yeah, they will. But you know, Val, we're rapidly approaching a time on this planet that I think we'll see in our lifetime where there will be a choice and a divergence in how our physical bodies appear.
Yes,
And
I
some
agree.
people will just refuse. Some people will just say, "No, I don't believe that."
Yes,
And pretty soon they won't see us. And
yes, I believe that.
we may or may not see them, I think.
I believe that. I totally do, and I think that's just um, that it
It's
just happens with
evolution.
resonance. If you're vibrating at a certain level and you're vibrating slowly and you're dense, you're you're in this density
Mhm.
and dimension. And if you're vibrating really fast, you're not going to interface with that density. It's not going to be in the same place
Mhm.
to see each other, to interface.
Mhm.
That's just physics.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that happened in 2025 for a lot of people, I know for me, I think it happened earlier, a few years earlier, where I would have my civilian job and what I
Yeah.
had to do to maintain that and make all that life happen. And then I had this. I had my world, my, all of this.
Yeah.
And now they're blended pretty much. There's
Hmm.
no distinction. There's
And
no.
that's how, yeah, that's higher consciousness. Your
Mhm,
higher consciousness doesn't stop when you leave the door and you go to work. You are that higher consciousness. You're moving, embodying it, and that is the shift, the big shift, the embodiment.
mhm.
And I love how you describe that, Colleen. That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
You are the divine source energy walking or doing telecommuting from home, however you do that.
Yeah, yeah.
The,
And I think a lot of people maybe don't have words to describe that,
yeah,
but that is what's happening.
that
So
is what's
they're
happening.
finding relationships changing or just kind of magically dissipating.
Yes, exactly. And people just move out of your life in
Mhm.
some way. They get on the outer rims and then they slowly fade away. It's really a natural evolution as you are shifting consciousness, shifting to a
Is
broader
it like
perspective.
those little fire bursts falling away from the wise potato? It's like those little fire things falling away. They just
It
magically
is. It's like, yes.
stay.
I mean, it really is like that.
Yeah. I think that's what
Yeah.
it's like. It's
So, uh,
Now, I think with 3iAtlas getting close to Jupiter,
yeah,
Jupiter will still be in the sign of Cancer
yeah.
when 3iAtlas comes close to it, and it will come closest. They said, I can't remember what radius, the radius of something that I think is very, very close to one of the moons of Jupiter.
Mm,
And I don't know if the moon, I could probably Google it, but I don't know if the moons of Jupiter, because Jupiter's so big, I don't know if they have
mm.
their own gravity. They might. Let me just Google this. Which
Yeah,
moon
Google that because I
of
think that's
Jupiter
fascinating.
will
Yeah,
3i Atlas be near? I mean, because Jupiter's got 13 moons, so I don't think you could get close to Jupiter
yeah.
without getting close to one of the moons. But remember that 3iAtlas is going on that orbital plane of the
Mm,
planets that orbit the sun. Now, I
yes.
don't know. I think that the moons of Jupiter also kind of follow that plane. Our
Mhm.
moon does. Our moon is just a little bit wobbly angled at that, and then Pluto is a little bit angled at that, like our moon is. But
Mm.
generally, within 5 degrees, they're all on that plane.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, okay, 3iAtlas is forecasted to pass near Jupiter's irregular moon Eupheme, I don't know how to pronounce it, around March 17th, which is the next
Mhm.
day, right?
Well, yeah.
The interstellar comet will come within approximately 30.46 million kilometers of Eupheme, a
Mhm.
small prograde moon that orbits the gas giant. God, I'm so
Ooh.
fascinated by this. But anyway, so some astronomers just like offhandedly will say, well, yeah, it's going to get caught up in Jupiter's orbit. And I'm thinking, if I were a betting person, I would take bets on that because I don't
I
think
would too. I would
I,
too. I
I
would
don't
take
I
bets
don't
on that.
think
I
that.
don't think so. It's
I
got
think
its own
yeah, I think
propulsion and
it's going too fast.
it's going too fast.
And it's not, I don't think it's going to be pulled in. It's a strong sucker, it's got a lot of
I think
power.
so. I
That
think you're right
thing
about
is
that.
just like cuckoo
Yeah.
bananas, all the speed. I mean,
Yeah.
have people just like accepted that and gotten over it? Because remember last fall when we were talking about it, we were all, well, I was just blown away by the speed of it. But that's because Dr. Loeb did make a big deal out of it
Yeah.
because it's a big deal.
It
Like
was a big
nothing,
deal.
comets don't come in that fast.
I
Comets fall through our galaxy.
I think it really has gone out of the consciousness, except you bringing it up again. I haven't really seen or heard about it in a while, and
Yeah.
that you wanted to talk about it was really an important point because it's going by Jupiter. And, I look back on how it affected us, and our conversation in this show kind of reflects all of that untethering, all of that unhooking from the old
Uh,
construct and patterning, that we have done. And, you know, that's why a lot of people are going for readings. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm supposed to be connecting to, because we're all feeling that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
So
because
are you saying, Val, that 3iAtlas came in and was in the macrocosm reflecting what we did in the microcosm?
Yes.
Our expectation was, oh, like a comet, it would come in and get sucked into the orbit of one of our planets or Earth or something like that. But when it didn't, this begat the separation of all of us going, wait, we are not in that orbit? We're not in that cosmic spiritual orbit of my mother, my father, my guru, my priest, my boss, my husband. We're not in that orbit?
We're not. We're individual sparks of God going, huh? It's me?
Yeah. Yeah. Like in a fire, when the little sparks of the fire go out into the sky. That's what we are. We're just like
and
going,
we're discovering. Exactly. I love how you put that together. It's really true.
Yeah, it's true. It's I think that's a real a metaphor for what we're doing. And so what's going to happen when it gets close to the moon? And it's so interesting that it's going to hit a moon in Jupiter, and Jupiter's in the sign of the moon. Jupiter is in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So now I don't think that 3iAtlas is going to get caught up in the orbit of Jupiter.
No, I don't either.
It is getting very close, and it is hitting one of its moons, which is really I mean, not hitting it. It's not going to like run into it millions of miles away. But so I'll be so sad to see it go. But I do think that there is this whole cosmic lesson.
Yes.
Just this huge thing. And I can't pin it down. So I just surrender to the idea that it was here for some wonderfully baffling reason that we can spend the next couple of decades trying to figure out what it really meant. Just like all my karmic lessons that I learned in this lifetime. It takes me a while. Takes me a while to get it.
It's food for thought anyway.
It's very much food for thought. That is certainly true. Okay, let me look at these people's questions. Go ahead and talk. I'll look at the questions.
We like to make meaning out of everything. We made meaning out of Stonehenge, the pyramids. I mean, if it's there, we try and understand it. And sometimes our ideas are not quite the thing. Because I've talked about this cultural anthropology. We just make stories out of what we find in the dirt. But it's just making up a story. We think we put it together. And I have an idea about who this civilization is, when that was the civilization on the surface, the newest civilization. Then below that, and then finally down below where you see under the Great Pyramid, the cylinders and all of that. That was the civilization that was built the pyramids. So what you see on the surface of things and what we create and make our minds up about, we have no clue. So this 3iAtlas may be hella bigger than we think. I think it means something. Why? Because things come into your awareness for a reason.
Yeah.
There is no accident. That is why.
Absolutely. And speaking of pyramids and all of that stuff, we didn't invent gaslighting. They did, all the stories that they told. I mean, you look at every culture and the planet has their stories about the flood, but also they have their stories about the star people, the gods. They were, angels came down. They were galactics. Come on.
Of course they were galactics. Come on. They're on the walls. In the spacesuit. They're on the walls with the heads and the.
They're the ones who planted us here. I mean, come on. So of course
they were here before us. Yeah, they created us. So
yes, absolutely. And I'm very grateful that I have just a little smidgen of DNA from them. I just think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
But that's also, I mean, telling stories. So they saw this stuff. They made up a story. They drew it in the dirt. They made a picture. They put it on the wall. They carved it in the rock. And so that's a human thing. We want
It's
to
a
have
human
this
thing.
story to
Yes, we do.
to gravitate to. We want to know why. Why are we
Yes.
here? Well, no
Yes.
wonder this human species wants to know why, because we didn't really evolve here naturally, right?
Yeah.
So of
Right.
course we're curious, like, why the hell are we here? Like, how do we get all this going on? Right? It's funny.
It's
It's
true.
really funny.
It's
Okay,
really
so
fun.
this is, let's look at one person's question. So I'm curious about
Right.
how others' sleep has been affected the past few weeks. Through eclipse season, I've been sleeping more than usual. Well, it is hitting the signs of Pisces and Virgo. And the Mercury retrograde, don't forget, is also in the sign of Pisces, which rules somnambulism or sleep. So
I'm a Pisces, and I've been sleeping more than usual.
I have Mars in Pisces, and I've been trying to sleep more than usual, but been unable to get enough sleep. It definitely affects your sleep. Yeah.
It definitely does.
We are bodies that have, what is it, 75 or 70% water in us.
Yeah.
Now the moon it goes through all the signs every month, right? But
Yeah.
it affects our body. You don't think the other planets affect us that way? Of course they do. Of course they do. And the more you sensitize yourself to your the seasons, to the land that you live on, to the planet, the town, the atmosphere, the clouds, the moon, the universe, all the other planets, yes, you're sensitive to this. And when you need more sleep, maybe you need more sleep so that your guides or galactics or whoever is talking to you can talk to you. Look, I'm putting Val to sleep right now. So
I'm yawning like crazy because you just started talking about sleep.
Right? I know. It's making me want to yawn too. I have been sleep deprived all my life. I'm so good at stifling yawns, you wouldn't believe it. It's crazy. So yeah, Andy, Abby, the answer is yeah. And me too, until the time change. Now my sleep patterns are all over the place. Yeah, well, that's an artificial standard that they impose, so it does take a while to get used to that.
It does.
But that was hard. That was really hard. My daughter today had to get up like 2 hours early for work. She had to be to work 2 hours early. And I was like, what are it's right after the time change. Are they cruel?
I mean, that is cruel. I find the time change very hard.
I find it stupid. I just think
it is stupid. My husband complains about it all the time. Why did they make us go through
I have just surrendered to it, Val. I have just allowed I have just said, this doesn't bother me.
That's hilarious.
Oh God. Okay, so then she came with, I just felt discombobulated, and I put that up because I love that word. Discombobulated. It's one of my favorite words. And then Abby had something else to say. Tuesday was at least a week long. Now that I agree with. Tuesday was a long ass day. I don't know why, but it was a long ass day. Monday I got through. I guess I don't really drink coffee, but sometimes I drink half calf. And Tuesday was a long day. And what's this one? Let's see. Question. Are the satellites still with 3iAtlas? If by satellites you mean the little guys flying alongside of them, do you know, Val?
I don't actually know.
I don't really know. I don't know.
I'm not actually sure. I haven't heard anything about those little satellites that we knew about earlier.
I don't know. But the minions, I call them. The
minions.
The wise potato has minions. I'm making up a story. I have my whole little world of.
That's very cute. That's very cute.
But I think it's I think just the fact that we're curious about it, I think is just marvelous. I think
it is. It is
about it.
I mean, there's a reason. Like I said, there is no accident in our universe. There's a reason for everything. So you have to understand when some outside body comes in, whether it's man-made or galactically made, whatever its origin, or whatever, an asteroid. It is quite amazing. And I can think, after all this time of watching it, if you think it's just a comet that's just flying through, I'm a comet. No.
It is
It
not.
wouldn't be.
I say if they could put that thing through a giant car wash, there'd be a big shiny spaceship underneath
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Exactly, right?
I think all that stuff on it that makes it look
It's
like a
got
potato
debris
is
on it
yeah,
from,
just space debris.
yeah,
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 exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
It's gotta be.
of
And
course.
and it's been traveling for 8,000 years.
Yes.
Well, you'd be dirty
It's
too.
dirty. Of course it's dirty. It's been out there. It's been out there a long time.
And I love the concept. They're even saying this more and more and more. I love the concept that if there are beings on the ship, that they
Yes.
would have been put into a somnolence,
Yes.
a sleeping state,
Yes.
and at some point they would be
Exactly.
revived or woken up. And
Yes.
we've seen this in sci-fi movies for
Yeah.
years. I mean,
Yeah.
they've already worked it out. I mean, they've worked it out
Cryogenic
with
state or
special effects,
whatever.
so they
Yeah.
could probably do it in real life. That's how I think about it. Oh
So,
god.
yeah, I mean, well, I feel that everything that we've ever seen in sci-fi movies or anything that we can think of in our head, it's all real. It'll all come into our awareness because
Yep.
it is something that will eventually be here and it does exist. So time travel, any of those things are definitely,
The logos, the word is, well, most people say the word is God, but the
yeah.
word is real.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
word makes it real. That's the first step.
It does.
Have you ever studied the Cabala, Val?
I have a little, and I have books on the Kabbalah, and I
Mhm.
always mean to sit down and read them, but I haven't yet.
Well, I
The
read them a
dark
long time
business
ago,
of
and I
them.
always forget
Yeah,
more than I
yeah,
retain, but
yeah,
I love the tree of life with the
yes,
Sephiroth because
yeah,
it is not just a straight line. It is
no,
not dualistic. It is not
yes,
this or that, white and black. See, I love the I Ching, but with the I Ching, you're supporting the duality still, even though the little bit of white in the black, the little bit of black in the white, we have that. That's the beginning.
yeah,
But that symbol is really old.
yeah.
Now, I
You know,
don't go ahead. Go ahead.
I just have to tell you, one morning I woke up, this was about a year ago or a year and a half ago, and I woke up and I hear my guides telling me, in the beginning, there was the word, and the word was, I think that was just it, and the word was. So what you're saying, I mean, and I just it stuck, it rang in my head, and I woke up and I was saying it out of my mouth.
Mhm.
And it's really saying, yes, the word is the creation. You
Yeah.
say you brought it into being because you
Vibration.
talked about time travel. You brought it into being because you talked about artificial hearts. You brought it into being because you talked about CRISPR technology, printing new parts for your body. You brought it into creation with the word. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And isn't it wild that some of these creations started with like comic books?
Yeah. It is pretty amazing because think
Yeah.
about all those comic books from years and years ago,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Superman
Yeah.
or any of that. I
Or
mean,
Archie and Betty. Come on. I
yes.
mean, all
Yeah.
of all of
Yeah.
these wonderful I'm joking, but all of these things when they are the genesis is the
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah.
Even the word, the vibration of the word. That's why when you
Vibration.
are in touch with your guides, it is so important to speak out loud.
It is. I say everything out loud to this day. I do my meditation. I call in my guides and angels out loud.
Mhm.
I, you
Very
know,
important.
I do everything out loud, folks, because there's something about the spoken word. And obviously, you can imagine I had that connection with my guides saying, in the beginning,
In the
there was
beginning.
the word, and the word was.
Yeah.
And the word was. There wasn't anything after that. The word was what the word was. The word makes it
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Is what they were really saying. That was the basis. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
We've all heard that saying, and the word, was God, or the word is
Everything.
creation, everything.
It's creation. Yes, it's creation. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well,
So
the thing that is so cool about the Kabbalah is that, and I'm not a big student of it, so I don't know. Don't come at me, anybody who knows more than I do about the Kabbalah. Just sit down, shut up, get your own channel.
yeah, I mean, I
So,
have, yeah. all I know is Yewa, and there's all these symbols and things. I even have a book of healing where you just look at the symbols and read the symbols. Of course, it's like backwards, and it heals you. That's part of the Jewish
yeah, I have a thing like that too. Yeah, it's like the, I don't know, the 108 names of God or something, and if you
Yeah,
go
I
through
have
the
that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
a big deal. But
yeah.
the thing that's really cool about the Kabbalah is you have the Sephiroth, right?
Yes.
And all the little circles is a different Sephirah, and
Yeah.
they all have different names, and they can be combined in various ways. So you
Yes.
don't go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. In fact, the study of the Kabbalah studies all the various paths that energy can take to connect these, like mercy
Yes.
and oh, now that's the only one I can remember, because all the other ones, all I remember is the Hebrew names. But the okay, all I can remember is mercy.
Yeah, yeah.
But
There's a
they
lot of
go in that pattern, and you would think, well, it's a tree, right? So it's like a
yeah.
Christmas tree shape, and it's not. It's a shape that almost looks like if you followed the pattern of the caduceus, the
Mhm.
medical symbol.
Yeah.
It's a lot more like that. And I
Mhm.
do think that's where they got their inspiration, or that's
Mhm.
the inspiration of that symbol, or the medical, or the caduceus is the inspiration for the other.
Mhm.
They're both very old symbols, so I don't know which one is older. But looking at those things, it's so creative the way you can put these various
Yeah.
things together, that you see that, like astrology, when you put these various elements together, that's how you get the beautiful uniqueness that is a human. And
Yes.
it's so, you just have to acknowledge and honor that creativity and that
Mhm.
beautiful, that unique being. And each one of us are that.
We
Each one
are.
of us are these unique,
Yep.
beautiful beings, and yet we're all connected because we all have these pieces inside of us.
Yes. Absolutely.
Divinity, stardust, blood and guts, yes, the meat suit, but all the other stuff too, love, patience, even anger and hatred
Yeah.
and greed. We have all of
We
these
have
things
it all.
inside of us.
There is nothing excluded. We
No,
contain it all, and that's why don't look for yourself to be perfect.
no.
You're still this spiritual being, that you're still a divine source projecting down into this avatar. You are still what you are. You are that source energy. So no matter what the triggering may happen in one day or whatever happens, you're still who you are, this divine source energy. So
Mhm,
don't go, oh, I made a slip. No, you're not going to be perfect. You're in
mm-mm,
a human vessel. You're on inner school.
mhm,
Just don't forget, as Colleen has mentioned, she finds she's exactly who she is, no matter where she is. Her
mhm,
higher consciousness exists inside of her, no matter whether she goes to work or the supermarket or no matter where she goes. That is higher consciousness.
mhm.
You just are
Yeah.
in that.
And there's so many people who kind of uh, almost denigrate their, what they think of as their normal life, the
Yeah.
work and this and that. It's all
It's
one.
all sacred. It's all part
Yes.
of the spiritual journey and the spiritual
Yeah.
path.
Yeah,
It,
you
it,
you came here to learn,
yeah.
and a lot of your learning will take place through that mundane
Oh gosh, yeah.
civilian job. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
a
I
lot
mean, there's
of
a
it.
lot you learn from those relationships at work and the experience. I mean, you really, really do. I mean,
Mhm,
that's going to put you in those pressure situations where you really test yourself and your mettle about who you really are and how you see yourself.
mhm,
And are you going to let others tell you who your value, or are you going to stay intrinsic that you're valuable because you exist as divine
mhm.
source energy?
Mhm, mhm.
So,
Yeah, and testing, that's one,
yeah,
something too that I notice. Well, this goes back to the Handbook for Higher Consciousness.
it
If you
does.
can figure out a way to not let things trigger you, then you can avoid things like this. Here's
Yes.
the person who's studying, they have their devotion, their daily practice, they're meditating, they're doing all this stuff, and then something ungodly happens in their life. Something
Yeah.
like, they're going through a divorce or something like that, and then they just, they feel like, oh, why is this happening to me? This is so awful. But so they're totally outside of the
Yeah.
experience because they're just observing that that something has gone wrong, or worse, they blame themselves for all of this
Yeah.
bad stuff to have happen. That is exactly the moment in your life where you need to dig into your soul and use your spirituality, use your connection to higher source to go through that experience.
And that's what it's meant to do. And I remember when I had my first divorce, I dug deep down into surrender and just went down into my soul self. Um, and I did all the steps you would need to do to imagine forgiving myself for even creating it and forgiving the other person, because here on earth, we need to say that.
Yeah.
Uh, Spiritually in our higher self, of course, not at all. We don't have any kind of judgment about anything like that. They're playing a part for us. And it's to help us to see the other side of things as a catalyst. But as you dig deep in and you surrender to what is so, you surrender everything. And I always prayed for assistance, guidance, help. You're really asking your higher self. And whether there's other beings or source energy out there that does come and help you, all I know is I always got help. And I always felt like I had this huge download of peace when I had those experiences that were tower moments.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me completely out of whatever that cycle would have been had I gone to, oh, why is this happening to me? Didn't I, like you're following a pattern, you're following a path, you're doing all the right things. It doesn't mean you don't have tower moments. It doesn't mean other people in your life are going to stay there forever. You still have to approach it as life is flowing to you for you. It's always for you. It's for your highest good. And whatever is going out of your life, bless it and say thank you and surrender, because it's for you. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you get on the other side, you'll look and go, oh, what was I thinking? Okay. I think you're going to be really thrilled that you.
Yeah, you're still gonna have a life review. Don't you're still gonna have to go through that shit. But
you
your life
no,
from
but
that point on might be a little
when
better.
you're on the other side of, you're still in your body, but you're on the other side of that marriage, that relationship. What I'm saying is you're going on to with the rest of your life, and you're not mourning that relationship. You're not in that angst of it. You're not in, you're not in the drama. You're on the other side of, okay, I'm moving forward in my life. And when you go into that deep surrender to that tower moment kind of thing, it shifts everything. It shifts your perspective. It shifts how you feel about yourself. That internal, that power that comes in, and that you are, it just fills you up, and it changes you. It doesn't mean you don't still feel some pain or you feel your emotions stir. You will, and you just feel them and let them go, because you really have to feel all your feelings and acknowledge them and let them go. So at the end, you don't want to be ruminating in something.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh,
But
that was good. That was good. Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing all of that,
yeah.
Val.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
sharing all of the things that you talked about. I think this was a wonderful conversation.
It was.
I know you and I enjoyed it. I don't know if people out there
I
enjoyed it,
know.
but
We
I
did.
hope there's somebody still out there. Maybe we put everybody to
I mean, I'm glad we have the Ken Key's Handbook to Higher Consciousness. And, that was a small, of course I've read all the Seth books. I've read all you can't mention anything that I haven't covered and done, out there as far as metaphysics and spiritual work. But that one little book, this it really, yeah, it was pretty masterful.
And they never changed the cover, no matter how
No,
many
they
prints
never
there
changed it.
were.
I just Googled it, and it's out there for $7, folks. You
And it was,
can-
I think it was $7 when I bought it.
Yes, I think it was $7 then. And it is, to this day, I opened my copy up and it's still good. It still is relevant. It's exactly what you need to do to, it's everything that I talk about with Marina and Messages for Lightworkers and what we talked about here, Colleen. It's all those steps put into very simple, precise information. And it was not easy as a 20-something to get into that book and really do that work. It's doing the work.
It is doing the work, and that's it's harder work than people can imagine.
Oh, it is so hard. Oh God. We want to be right. We want to feel the drama. We want to this, we wanted that, we want to blame people, we want to shame, we want to, and then all of that is a no-go. So
well, because at the same time, we want to look cute. We want to have beautiful eyelashes and big boobs and a perfect butt. And, we want all those things too, especially in our 20s.
Yes.
So
all of the above. Yeah.
It's very funny.
It's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. That is funny. All right.
Oh, Cabell says, you guys are great. I put the book in my cart. Excellent. Because you know what? It's amazingly simple.
Yes.
You have to do. I would start out in the morning and I'd have all this list. I would know how I was going to handle the boss trigger or this trigger or that trigger. I would have my strategy ready. And you know what? This is how it worked. And over time, very short time, snap the finger kind of time, it shifted everything. It really did. It was just, I said, oh, this shit works.
Well, when you put your intention and attention going in the right direction, you can accomplish, you can move mountains, you can accomplish miracles.
You really can. You really can. And I have to say, it is just like you said in the first part of the show, it's one thing to read the books and understand, and it's another thing to actually do it. And doing it, it takes a real, I'm going to do this, because you think it's easy to not let triggers get you, or to see things in a neutral position and not get jealous over this co-worker or that thing happened, or feel resentful because this project didn't get identified as something important and somebody else's did. Subtle little things like that. You're working on your allowance, your unity consciousness by letting other people get their glory moment or whatever, because they're you. They are you on the stage of life. And when you separate them from you, that is saying that you are separate from divine source. That is why you don't want to be separate from anyone in that way. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, reading a book is intellectual. That's why when you're reading it, it all seems possible.
It's intellectual.
But real life, we are reacting emotionally, and emotions are powerful. They're very, very, very emotion. They run through our bodies. They run us.
Yes.
So it's,
And
wow, we should do a whole seminar. Wow.
Be good.
Very good.
But I just want to say one last thing. I love how you said it's intellectual. It is an intellectual book because it's very dry, point by point. This is what you do. It isn't, and then you feel that, no, it's not touchy-feely at all, and which is perfect for a Pisces who gets all touchy-feely. It just put it in boom, 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 boom. Okay, I went to work and I boom, boom, boom. It took all the emotion out of it so that I don't have to sit in some drama stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a very good book. Even now, it's a really good book. All right, everybody. Well, we've been on for quite a while, and we did talk about the wise potato. So I don't want anyone to put in the comments, why didn't you talk more about 3iAtlas? We did talk about 3iAtlas.
We ran the flag pole, we ran the flag up the flagpole, and 3iAtlas is pretty amazing. And I think we're going to see some things happen, more freedom, more truth happen with the Jupiter aspect. And the Jupiter moon thing, I just don't even know how that's going to, wow.
I'm excited to see what's going on.
I'm excited too.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I don't know if we'll be able to do another show before that, but maybe we'll do a wrap up of 3iAtlas. I mean, it isn't gonna, it's good. It's, to me, I have this feeling that somehow 3iAtlas has impacted our planet in ways that we can't really even imagine.
I think you're right about that.
And I kept getting instincts about it impacting astrology too. That like now maybe they'll look at meteors going through, because we look at asteroids and we look at dwarf planets, and we've learned how to interpret those. So maybe there's something with 3iAtlas. I don't know. I'm going to dub it the wise potato, and I'm going to put it in my chart.
I think that's an excellent idea.
I'm going to talk to some astronomers about naming it that. But I do feel like there's a huge impact there. So we'll, even if we do a show in like a few weeks or something about it, that won't be the capper. That won't be the end of it. But I would like to do something so that we can just look at sort of the cumulative total of everything that we've kind of thought about it. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. And this is such a fun conversation to have. So we'll do that. So thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for being here with us. We really enjoyed having you. We really enjoyed bejabbering our little faces off. And I did take a couple of questions. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time to talk about 3iAtlas. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here.